Hello guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. This is a different video. One that's probably going to make me lose subscribers because this is not my channel type. But I still think it's important to cover. It is very apparent by analytics that you guys don't like the recent videos, even though they're still technically tech related. You know, like Psycho Friend destroys laptop over World of Warcraft. It's tech related, but not in what people want. So I'll be making tech videos again, like regular videos. I'm going to make a new Chromebook video. That's my most popular video. Now besides that, this is a life video. So it's like a life lesson learning video. So like what I've learned. I mean, as you can tell by the title, I hope. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but I wanted to show you why providing positive feedback first, especially if you're in an organization like a school or especially like what I am, a university. And sorry, I'm using my lens is messed up, so you're going to hear it. It is so loud when it autofocuses. Sounds like the McJuggernuggets camera. Anyway, why positive feedback is important. So, let's say there's this teacher, right, or this professor that does a lot of things that are great, that are brilliant even, but they do something that's so stupid and it ruins the teaching, right? Instead of just saying, hey, you know, can you improve on this immediately? Because if you start out just negative, most of the time, us as human beings, it happens everywhere. Social media, online, it's everywhere. If you start out negative, people are going to get defensive immediately or just not take you seriously. However, if you start off by something positive, like, hey, I appreciate you doing these things or that, because more than likely they're self-aware on what they need to improve, hopefully. If they're passionate about what they do, they're self-aware. But 2024, people don't even know what that word means. So I want to show you an email that I'm going to write up. Let me open up OBS real quick. I'm on new message now. Jeez, that took forever to load. So you type in the person. I'm putting example teacher at I can't spell it. At organization.edu. Okay, so subject, feedback. And then you want to go, dear example teacher, I really appreciate... What is all this nonsense? Go away. Gosh, Google. I really appreciate the things you do and wanted to take the time to reflect. Dear example teacher, I really appreciate the things you do and wanted to take the time to reflect on the things I appreciate. I spelled that so wrong. Alright, after you got something like this, obviously this is basic. I would not write it like this normally, or I would write it differently. Now, on the subject line, I would do this. I would put 1 out of 2. That way you can, essentially what you're doing is you're softening them up. You're letting them know you're not out to harm them. You know what I mean? I know that sounds stupid, but we are very, very subconscious type beings. Like, even though we're not thinking it, if you don't do this, you're going to get defensive. Even if it's you, right? It's just natural to get defensive. You want to explain that why it's not like that. When in reality something could be bad or something you're doing is not great, could be improved. You want to do something like this first. Dear example teacher, I really appreciate the things you do. I want to take the time to reflect on the things I appreciate. And then you can do bullet points or 1, 2, 3. Say something nice, but something you like about their class. If it's a teacher that kind of sucks all in general, I am so sorry, but you're going to have to come up with something. If not, you're going to have to be very, 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 like, I think passive. I don't know if that's the right term. You're going to be very, very gentle in your writing when you want to tell them, like, hey, is it possible we can improve this? Or, you know, something like that. You're going to have to be very gentle. I'm trying to write something quick. I'll you know, obviously make it better and prettier, but, and then sincerely, your name here. And then yeah, and then obviously now they're gonna know because you put one of two. It's kind of like a gentle way of telling them like, hey, I have something else. Subconsciously they're gonna know, but they should have their guard a little bit relaxed. So that's honestly what I do. You know, I want to send this to see if it actually goes anywhere. And something like this can really go a long way. I did this for my teachers last semester. I told them how great they were. Yeah, man, it's not a real email, guys. That's kind of a shame. Organization.edu. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, I hope this actually comes across as helpful. Because if you let somebody know what you're doing right, it's not just negative. Because when you're a teacher or you're somewhere, you know, you're trying, if you're just surrounded by the negative, it makes it harder to improve. So if you actually give somebody something positive first before telling them they need to improve, it really does go a long way. And it makes, you know, because let's be honest, the people you are interacting with, we forget. Just because they're in a position of power, we do forget that they're human too. You can't forget that. So sometimes they need a little bit of validation just like we do. And not everyone can get that from family or a loved one. So, you know. Anyway, peace.